of heat, but she didn't have time to sit. "They don't tell her until she gets to the airport," her mother explained, her face folded over with worry. "I got a clue from one of the producers I became friendly with last time." Fob resisted the urge to whisper, as if someone was hiding in the bushes to catch her violating the non-disclosure agreement. "It's going to be somewhere extremely cold." Mancha ran up the porch, knocking into the back of her legs before flying back down the steps where Tilo was waiting in the grass, his tiny pink tongue lolling out of his open mouth as he waited for Mancha to run in circles around him. "You'll be careful, Fabiola, sing?" Her mother cupped Fob's face. "Don't get hurt." "I'll try," she promised. This time she wasn't a sheltered 21-year-old. After a tearful goodbye, she left Mancha panting at her mother's feet. Instead of letting herself miss him, she imagined how happy he would be racing through the creek later that afternoon. He was a terrible swimmer, but that didn't stop him from loving the water. An hour later, she was pulling into a private airport. Leaving her SUV in the modest garage, she strapped on a backpack and rolled 2 large suitcases into the small building. As soon as she walked into the small lobby, she spotted the production assistant. "Fabiola Santos!" The young man jumped out of his seat and darted toward her. She nodded, even though it wasn't posed as a question, and slid her sunglasses up to use them as a headband. Her long ponytail slipped off her shoulder and over the top of her backpack. "Hi, I'm Mike." His smile was excessive and unrestrained. "Let's get you checked in." He gestured for Fob to hand over her bags for him to take. She didn't loosen her grip on the handles as she followed him through the security checkpoint. "Your season is the first one I ever watched." He stared at her with the wide eyes of someone meeting their hero. "I can't believe that 6 years later, here I am taking you to an All-Stars season." Fob shifted her weight between her neon green sneakers. She'd never gotten used to her minor celebrity status. She'd prefer to compete in physical challenges without the cameras. After checking her bags, they started for one of 4 gates. "I couldn't believe it when you lost," he said as they walked. Fob gripped her backpack straps. She didn't want to think about the past. All she wanted to do was focus on the future, on her second chance, on redemption. "What was it like to be down to the wire like that?" Mike the PA continued, undeterred by her discomfort. "You and Cameron Herrera were literally neck and neck after that grueling final obstacle. 3 days in the jungle, countless challenges, and then she crossed the finish line like 2 seconds before you." The more excited he got, the higher his pitch. Fob worried he was going to turn supersonic soon. If he imploded, at least she wouldn't get dragged down memory lane, her skin shredding over all the jagged rocks in the road. "I was so sure you were going to win. Apart from just dominating your season, you were beating her the whole time. What the hell happened?" "She stabbed me in the back." "Bad luck," Fob replied, her voice low and her jaw tight. "Are you excited to know where we're filming this year?" Mike handed their boarding passes to the agent at the gate along with their passports. Fob strained her eyes, but she couldn't make out the destination on the ticket. "I'll give you a clue," he whispered as they walked down the gangway toward the charter plane. Based on the intel that they were filming in a cold climate over their summer, she'd narrowed it down to Patagonia, Greenland, or the northern reaches of Canada. Cutthroat Island was the longest-running reality competition show in the United States. Over the course of 2 decades, the themes had changed, but the challenges always took place on an island. There were only so many of those covered in ice this time of year. "It's only a 3-hour flight," he said with a wink, before plopping down on the seat next to her in the small plane. 3 hours? Fob cycled through all the destinations 3 hours from Atlanta. None of them were on her list of possible suspects. Mike the PA leaned over. Even though they were the only ones seated on the flight so far, he whispered,